9 News at 9 starts right now.
Well, this might not surprise you, but the Broncos are once again leaning on their defense in a low-scoring game. Thanks for being with us, everyone. I'm Phil Lipoff.
I'm Kim Christensen. Sean Payton wanted his offense to get off to a fast start. You know, always get what you want. The Broncos are leading the Raiders right now at 10-7 in the fourth quarter. After giving up a touchdown on the first series, the Broncos defense has been outstanding as usual. The offense has kind of been sputtering a little bit. Once the game ends, we'll take you inside the locker room to hear from the coach and the players.
The pregame wind had Mile High looking something like an elementary school gym class. I totally remember doing this in elementary school. 9 News Chief Meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen is here now with your forecast. Corey.
Hey, yeah, what an amazing night for football on November the 6th. Those winds just gradually died off through the night, and now it's dead calm conditions across the city of Denver right now. Temperatures starting to drop down there into the 50s, 58 in downtown, 42, a good difference there between us and DIA, where it's always way colder than it is in downtown. Here we are for tomorrow, heading into those temperatures being well above normal once again, but not as warm as it's been the last 3 days. We'll see these high temperatures in the 60s across the Front Range, Eastern Plains, 40s and 50s in the mountains, as they'll have one more wave of light snow tomorrow night here. But here's what your Friday looks across the Denver metro area. Quite a bit of sunshine tomorrow, but a lot more clouds also than what we have seen over the last few days. And when you look at your weekend, that's where the cooler air is coming. There's a big Arctic cold front coming down across the eastern United States. We'll just catch the very edge of this, but look at that. We're going to be pretty chilly here for Saturday and Sunday. I'll describe that in more detail coming up in the full forecast.
New tonight, a woman is hurt after being attacked by a moose in Boulder County. State wildlife officers say she was walking her dog off leash at the time. It happened yesterday afternoon west of Jamestown. CPW says a young bull moose knocked the woman to the ground, then stomped on her. She was taken to a hospital with head and back injuries. Officers searched for the moose but didn't find it. They put up signs to warn people about the attack. CPW says moose often view dogs as predators, so a majority of reported attacks involve a dog.
You may have fewer options for flying starting tomorrow. The FAA is making cuts to the schedules at 40 major airports, including DIA. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy argues the move is necessary to keep people safe as staffing shortages and unpaid work take a toll on air traffic controllers. Most of them work 6 days a week and put in mandatory overtime even before the shutdown. Now they're doing that without paychecks as lawmakers can't come to an agreement on a way to reopen the government. Thousands of TSA workers are also being left in the lurch.
Yeah, they haven't been paid in weeks, and for many, tomorrow marks yet another pay period without pay. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj is live from DIA for us now with more on that. Shalima.
Yeah, to say it's been difficult is an understatement. I'm told that many workers didn't see their last paycheck for the last several weeks. In fact, I'm told that they actually received it last on October 10th, so it has been almost a month. And when they did get that paycheck, it was far less than what they'd been expecting.
So October 10th was when we got our last, that was a half of a paycheck.
Since then, nothing. Just holding on for as long as they can.
How am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to get my food? Who's watching my child? Where's my child care payment coming from? I don't know how I made it on the fumes in my car.
All thoughts Angela Grana says TSA officers have been overwhelmed by, all while having to do their jobs without pay.
At the same time, you're focused on one passenger at a time, one bag at a time.
Grana is the regional vice president for the American Federation of Government Employees, Local 1127, a union that represents local TSA workers.
We can't go to the bank and say a rain check. No, it doesn't work. We would like a paycheck and not a rain check.
DIA is one of the airports where air traffic is being reduced thanks to an FAA order.
It's been a long time since we've seen a reduction caused by the government. Airlines carry more than people. They carry cargo too. And so we're going to see that cargo not being moved around. This is a global economic impact.
But the impact is already being felt deeply on the home front.
We are not red, we are not blue, we're red, white, and blue.
And Angela Grana says it's something workers simply can't take much more of.
I just know that I can sit at a table with my fellow TSOs, have a break, and they all voted differently. We all have different thoughts. We're simple people. How do we do it? And you guys cannot.
Now, we asked MSU Denver professor Chad Kendall exactly what people should do if they're considering traveling anytime soon. And he says that if the trip that you're considering is within an 8-hour drive, it may be a good idea to consider taking the highway instead of the runway. Live from DIA, Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
The Delta County Sheriff's Office revealed this afternoon that 2 pilots were hurt in a plane crash there last weekend. On Sunday, deputies say 2 men, a flight instructor and a student pilot, were in a single-engine Bush plane when it crashed into a ravine. One was able to get out himself, but the other needed help. Deputies say they believe the plane took off from Blake Field and then had some technical difficulties. The pilots tried to make an emergency landing, but the plane lost power and then crashed. The FAA and NTSB are investigating.
Clear Creek County says their EMS staff is stretched thin. They warn it could take longer to get to you if there's an emergency. The county says over the past 5 years, calls for EMS are up 20% and the time to complete a call is up to 45%, mostly because the closest hospital is at least a 35-minute drive away. When they're low on staff, they're turning to neighboring agencies for help, and they say that really helps out.
We want to be there when you need us, right? But if we don't have the funding or the ability to keep pace with the call load and the visitation, then we're ultimately always going to be one step behind.
Clear Creek has 9,000 residents, but 10 million visitors a year. Voters this week approved raising taxes to increase funding for EMS and other agencies. The county is hopeful that will help.